Lesson 6. On this section, you are going to learn how to publish content on your website. You're going to learn how to structure content, also interlink your content, both internal links and external link, and how to actually do SEO for your medias. Medias include pictures, videos, and audios. Now, without wasting time, let's get started. What you have to do is to go straight to your WordPress dashboard. You can see this is my WordPress dashboard right here. And what I'm going to do is to click on the post icon. And I'm going to click on add new post. This is how you publish content on WordPress. I'm going to use a modern technology to actually write this content. I'm actually going to use ChatGPT to write the content, and I'm going to try my best to make the content AI undetectable. Now, bear this in mind that I'm not in any way advising you to always use ChatGPT to write your content, but I'm telling you that you can actually use AI to write your content and then use article rewriter tools to rewrite the AI generated content in order to make it appear as though it was not written by AI. Okay, so let's get started with that. Now I'm going to write a content, how to write a resume for a medical job. Whenever I talk about content structuring, what should come into your mind is how should content actually appear? Okay, how should content appear? How should content be structured? How should I write the content? What arrangement should I give to my content? Everything matters, including your capitalizations, your arrangement, okay, including how the overall sentences are being structured. So SEO is best done by writing your articles manually. It is advisable that you write your article by yourself, okay, because Google has a tendency to detect if a content was AI generated or not. So if you have a high hope, if you have the hope and good intentions of ranking on the search engine whenever you're writing content, then it is very much advisable that you write the content uniquely without using an artificial intelligence tools or any software to do that. So what I'm going to do, by the way, is I'm going to go ahead to use ChatGPT, okay, to write my content. Okay, so I'm going to click on login. Okay, so this is ChatGPT right now, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to search for the exact this. I'm actually going to ask ChatGPT to answer this question. Okay, I'm going to ask ChatGPT this question to see what ChatGPT is going to say. So what ChatGPT has done is that ChatGPT has actually told me how to write a resume for a medical job. The next thing I can do is to tell ChatGPT to write a blog post on, I'm going to tell it the exact title again. Now, I'm also going to say write a long. I'm going to include the word long here. Now, you can go ahead to give it all the necessary SEO prompt by saying ChatGPT should use the exact key phrase. This is a key phrase. How to write a resume for a medical job is a key phrase. I can tell it to use the exact key phrase on the beginning, the opening sentence, okay? The first paragraph, the opening paragraph. I can also tell it to make it SEO optimized and all of those things. But like I said, it is very well recommended that you do those process manually, because blogs that actually write their own content uniquely and does all of these jobs manually always appears to perform better in terms of search engine optimization. So once you've done this, the next thing you can actually do to make your content appear more unique is to use a tool called Krillbot. So the content is generated by ChatGPT, and you can use Krillbot to go ahead and paraphrase the content. All right. So whenever we talk about using Krillbot, you should know that Krillbot has a limit when it comes to the free version of it. So basically, you can use Krillbot free to a certain limit. Once you've exceeded the limit, you will need to actually get the premium program. So I'm going to paste what I copied there. You can see this is 70 words. I think the limit for the free program is about 150 words. So if I try to paraphrase this, you can see that Scribbot is going to change the sentence. Once Scribbot successfully does this, then you have actually succeeded in making your content almost nearly undetectable. But bear this in mind that there is always a difference between a content written by human and content written by a robot. Okay, whenever a software writes a content, there is always a difference. If you look well enough, you can always differentiate that this content was written by a software. But then let's proceed. Okay, now whenever we talk about content structuring, what you need to know is that the title, you need to kind of try to maintain what we call the title case. So the title case means that there are some words that actually need to be capitalized. Not all the words they need to be capitalized, but there are some words that need to be capitalized, like how, right, resume, medical, and job. These are the major words that needs to be capitalized, and the rest can actually be on a lower case. The next thing you want to do is you want to make sure that the exact key phrase actually appears on the beginning, the opening paragraph of whatever you are doing. What you now need to do is to come over here and paste the running content. Once you've pasted the running content, as you can see, this content is not well structured. This content is not well structured. The first thing we have here is always the H1 tag. So your title is always the H1. Okay. Now the next thing you need to do is to understand that each of these headlines here, each of these numbering should actually be an heading. That is how Google actually is always able to read which of your write-ups is the heading and which of the write-up is not. So what I'm going to have to do here is to space this, and I'm going to say this is number one header. I'm going to change this paragraph to heading. So this is practically my H2 tab. I have to do the same thing to this other guys. I have to make this other one also my H2 tab. Okay. Automatically it becomes my H2 tab. Remember that this is always the H1. Now in situations where you have another heading under the H2 tab, that should be your what? Your H3 tab. So I'm going to go ahead to explain that. All right, let's proceed with structuring this content. So right now I'm going to have to change all this numbering to header. Now, like I said, the reason why you need to do this is because Google search engine will be able to read this. That is the main reason why you need to do this. Because if your content is just bold and highlighted like the way it was, then Google as a search engine will not be able to read the bold as an heading. Okay, that is when structured data comes in. That is when featured snippets comes in. When you structured your content so nice, Google is able to understand that, oh, this is the main point. Oh, this is where this user is searching for. That's how our featured snippet normally comes about, because the content has been structured in a way that search engine actually understands. Okay, so now let me give you an hint of what I meant here. For each job includes, now I can literally change all of this to heading 2. All right, so if I was to change each of this to heading, this would have been H3 or H4. Okay, this would have been like H3 or H4. Now if this is an heading, if this is professional experience and this is H2, right, and I have to make this one an heading, I can actually change this one to what? Like I said, this one here must be H3. okay, H3 or H4. It has to be lower. It has to be lower than H. It has to be lower than H2 since the parent since the parent is actually H2. Whatever comes under it has to be lower than H3. So as you can see what I'm doing right here, I don't need to include 6 here. I can actually number this separately. So as you can see, now this comes under this other one. You can see what I'm doing. You can see what I'm doing right there. Okay. This comes under this other one. Professional experience. And then there is include one. There's another aiding here. Now, search engine is going to understand this. That's the beauty of it. Search engine is going to understand this. So if I want to make it, it appears as though they look similar in sizes. So I can actually go ahead to make it H4. Maybe it becomes smaller and easier to understand, right? Easier for the readers because search engine would definitely know that since this is lower, since this is H4 or H3 is lower than H2, which means that it is actually under this guy. It's actually under the H2 here. Now for the skills, this still remains H2. We go back to H2 and then we still proceed with this. So that is how you structured content, okay? You get the drill, you get the concept. It's as easy as it sounds. So you just need to make sure that all your contents are structured properly. This still goes back to H2. And the rest of this will have to go back to H2. Now this one still falls under this. So while these formatting tips can still be H2, this one here has to be lower. Now giving it a bullet point is still okay. It depends on whatever you choose. A bullet point can also be red. Search engine is going to understand that it falls under the formatting tips. Or you can also make it an heading. Now what you need to know is that all these headings here, okay, will make more sense if there was another content, if you want your content to be longer. Now let's read this. This is crucial section where you detail your relevant work experience. Focus on accomplishments and responsibilities that showcases your medical expertise. For each job include. Now you can say job title and the name of the organization. Now under job title and the name of the organization, you can write a content here that says job title is very essential in the sense that you get what I'm saying. So you can always have a content under the headings. This is when you give your article a more detailed explanations. And this type of article that have a more detailed explanation often seems to rank higher on the search engine result page than articles that are a bit shady. So when you write an article, it is best that you go deeper and explain as much as you need to in the article. Okay? The next thing we want to talk about is content link. You want to make sure that your content is properly linked. There are two types of link. The first thing we have is internal linking, and we also have external linking. So whenever you link your content, for example, this is a word, I can decide to link the word medical sector to another content on my site that also talks about medical. Okay. Now, if I do that, what I've succeeded in doing is called internal linking. I just have to search for the word. I just have to search for the word. You just have to find something similar. All right. You just have to find something similar. I can come over here and say, let's say link it. Okay. I can come over here and say link it. Then click on this link icon. This is me trying to do internal linking. So if I search for link it, it's going to give me articles that have something similar to link it. How does, yeah, something like this. So I'm going to link this. I've succeeded in linking this. As you can see, when I hover on it, there is a link. This is internal link because if anyone clicks on this link on my site, it's going to take that person to another page still on my website. They have not left my site. An internal link is very, very important whenever it comes to search engine optimization. The next type of link we have is external link. And one thing I always recommend when it comes to external link is to give link out to very strong authoritative website. Okay, brandable website, very strong, authoritative, brandable website. For example, I can decide to link, instead of linking this link it now to another page of my site that actually talks about social media. I can decide to link this one now. I will just click on it to unlink it. Then when it comes over to linking it, I will simply take go. I will simply link LinkedIn website, official website on it. Okay, you can see what I'm doing right there. I will now type linkedin.com. As easy as that. So I've actually linked this back to the official site. You get the concept now. So that is what you need to know. There is no S here. So this is what you need to know. I can link this to the official site. So whenever someone clicks here, it takes you to the major site. You just need to know when to use these links. Now, how do you know when to use this external link? Let me break it down. The best time to think about using external link is this. Let's assume I was writing a content that says 5 best insurance company in Canada. Whenever I mention an insurance company, it's always is recommended that I just have to link whatever I mention to the official site. That way the content truly becomes helpful. Okay, and then I can simply give links out to the official website. That's when it's always very well recommended to link back. But internal link is recommended at every time. So all your article should link back to another. You have to give internal links on your article. Don't just publish articles like that. Make sure that one article links back to another, especially whenever it is related to what you've previously written. Okay. The next thing we're going to talk about is media SEO. Media SEO is simply you doing SEO for your images, your videos, whatever you upload. I'm going to show you that right away. So let's assume I'm trying to publish something now. This is me trying to publish a post. Okay, now I need to upload an image. So if I come over here to say, let me upload a featured image, I need to do SEO for that featured image. So the first thing I will have to do will be to copy the headline. This is the heading. And remember that the heading in this situation is my keyword. I have to make sure that this heading here is my keyword. So I'm going to try to upload a picture. Remember that you can upload any picture of your choice, but I'm just going to pick any a previous picture here to try to upload that. So this is it. I've picked this picture right now. So what I'm supposed to do is to include my keywords here. Just make sure that you include your keywords here. Now, what this does for you is that it makes your image appears. You know that there is always an image search on Google. So whenever someone search for an image on this keyword, your website has a chance to actually appear on the front pages. Okay, this is what image, alt text, title, and caption does for you. This is like you telling search engine what your image is all about. Title is also your SEO for the image. So whenever someone make a search, your image appears on search engine. And anyone that clicks on the image and clicks on the link on the image is going to land on your blog post, the specific blog post where this image was used. Then you just need to click on set featured image, and that's that. Once you've done that, the next thing you should actually know, we've talked about all three of these, but the next thing you should actually know is that there is a guide. Okay, there is a complete guide depending on the SEO tools you are using. RankMath as a whole is going to give you a guide. This is it, basic SEO. This is a guide on what and what you are supposed to do for your content to be well structured. So you follow this guide religiously. You add focus keyword to the key title. Now I've not added the focus keyword, very important. I'm supposed to add the focus keyword here. Once I've added the focus keyword, you've seen that automatically I've done a lot of good things already. So I have about 61% good so far, simply by just adding the focus keyword. So this one here, you can't actually change this until you've published the content. So this is also done. Content is 572. I need at least 600 word long. Okay, you can see that. Then content readability, You can see that my content is very readable, very, very readable. I'm doing everything properly, a lot of things properly. So this one here has two errors. Your title doesn't contain a power word. So whenever we talk about power word, what you should know is that a power word is a word that forces people to actually click on your content. I can say something like best way, but that would be okay, how to write a resume for a medical job. 5 steps. I think let's see if that is a power word in 5 steps. Okay, you are using a number. Okay, I've done this. Google actually recommend you using a number. Okay, how to write a resume for a medical job. Now you need to think of words that actually get people to click. So a power word can be anything. Now bear it in mind that this does not mean that you should actually shake or adjust the original title of your content, because as you can see, a lot of things has been done properly already. But it's always recommended that you use a word that actually influence people to click on your article whenever they make a search on search engines. Okay, so this is additional. I've done a lot on this already, and you can see the ones that are showing green. See the ones that are showing red. The ones that are showing red are the ones that have not done properly, and the ones that are showing green are the ones that have actually done properly. So you just need to take your time and figure out how to get all of this done. And these are the basic. And the only error here is that the content is not up to 5. It's not up to 600 words. I've had 572 words so far, and that's okay. That's quite short. You should be aiming at 1,000 word over, but also know that there is no general rule of thumb. If 500 word can solve the need in the article, then write 500 word. If 300 word can explain what you intended to explain in the article, then write 300 word. What you're trying to do is to make sure that your content is as useful and helpful as possible. So that's what you need to know about content publishing, content structure, content links, and media SEO. See you on the next section.